I'm a bit nervous to read in front of this
Oh,
guy.
yeah, I know, right? A bit intimidated.
10 years is a long time in TV land, and we've been lucky enough to have Michael Usher in our newsroom for the past decade.
With unparalleled dignity and wisdom, Mush is up for the most popular news presenter gong at Sunday's Logie Awards. Well-deserved recognition for one of the country's most respected journalists.
As always in this job, a privilege to have had a front row seat to history.
From natural disasters.
Looking down here now, it is just something quite extraordinary.
To the pandemic that stopped the world.
Tonight, day one of heading back to normal, Sydney gets a taste of freedom. Restaurants, pubs and cafes reopening almost immediately booked out. Some genuine face-to-face time for the first time in months.
The crowning of a monarch.
We are 2 sleeps out from an event not witnessed since the 2nd of June 1953, the coronation of a British monarch.
And a political landscape, the likes of which we've never seen before.
Now, what's circled in red might explain what Donald Trump said in his statement about he heard whizzing.
For a decade now, Michael Usher's steady hand has been helping guide 7 News coverage through the moments that matter most.
Inside Operation Epic Fury, it has been an extraordinary 24 hours, so let's get you caught up on exactly what has happened.
All the stories and the spectacles.
The newly married Harry and Meghan are about to walk past in the carriage, drive past our studio right now. Oh, that is magic. That is absolutely magic to be able to see them up that close.
And after 36 years in the game, his compassion is still bringing comfort to millions at home.
So take care tonight, and if you're feeling a heavy heart tonight, it's absolutely understandable. So hug some loved ones and have a talk about it, and we'll help guide you through the details tomorrow as well as we learn them. I'm Michael Usher. Thanks so much for your company and good evening.
And the man, the moment, Michael Usher joins us on the couch now.
It's like a farewell video.
Thanks for your service.
Yeah, that's okay.
And thank you for the script you provided me to voice. We love seeing all that old stuff. Yeah. We saw just at the end a little glimpse of a very young Michael who would have been, 17, 18?
I was about 18. It was 18. And I'm confident that's my very first piece on camera. It was for Channel 7 in Perth. And it was...
This one?
Yeah, this one there. It was about a bird... I think it might have been like a bird flu crisis back in the day. It was right down in Albany in Western Australia. And that's my very first piece to camera. There you go. So, yeah.
Is your career everything...
One for the archives.
Is your career everything you thought it would be? That young man thought it would be?
Because I never thought... I think we're probably all the same. I'm still grateful to be sitting here talking about what I do. I didn't think I'd last this long in what we do in this great job. As we know, it can be turbulent at times. But I got great advice over the years and have had some very good mentors who said, look, just stay on camera, see through the bosses, see through management changes, do what you do the best, and that's tell people's stories. And that's sometimes, you know, the best part of the job. And I think, you know, you turn up every day and do that, don't we?
Mate, you've been front and centre for some of the most monumental moments in recent history. The Queen's funeral, of course, the King's coronation, right through the pandemic. Do you still get a rush for it?
Definitely, because as we sit there on that news desk reporting breaking news or big events, you know, you've woken up that morning and sometimes you don't know what's going to be happening. Every day is different. Our job is never dull. It's always interesting, whether the topic is hard or difficult or we don't have to like or loathe it or love it, but it's never dull. So there's just some days you turn up and you don't know what you're going to be able to do. So I still like it. I still very much love my job, and I'm grateful for that.
And yet some days far more difficult than others. If we just look back to the Bondi attack,
Bondi
most
was incredibly
recently.
hard. I mean, Kylie, I was very mindful that night when we were broadcasting those events. The information was fast, the information was heavy, it was traumatic, and I just knew people would be sitting at home listening and watching us. They might have been alone, they might be with some people, and you were reporting some really heavy death tolls and trauma. It was like reporting a war zone, but in our own backyard. So I was mindful to sort of, I guess, and I've said it a few times, like, I think reach through the camera. So, look, I'll hold your hand on this one. You hold mine back. We're learning this together. I'll try and put it in some context that's not going to be too alarming because it's big enough and ugly enough as it is and scary enough. But let's all learn it together, and I'll try and give you some context and facts when we know it and get it right. Guide people through.
And Mush, what happens then after a day like that? And you've had plenty of days like that. What happens when you get home?
It's hard to switch off.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to sleep on those nights.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I overthink a lot of stuff anyway. I think we do in what our professions are. You've got to think of every side of the story, every angle, but I really do chew through that a lot. So quite often after those big events, I have sleepless nights. Not in a bad way, but you just want to make sure you've got it all right and think about it and what's ahead and how can you deliver the news the next day. So that does impact me in that sense. Red wine helps every now and then. That's often a bit of therapy down the track. But yeah, it stays with me.
What was a defining moment was the piece you did with Spotlight on the Abdallas.
Yes, yeah.
Take us through that. You spoke to both the dad who had lost his children and a family member, and then also the person who had been behind the wheel.
Yeah, Samuel Davidson, who killed those 4 kids that day. You know, there's 4 kids with their cousins, 7 or 8 of them in one group, walking down the road to get an ice cream on a hot summer's day. And those kids normally never did that. And on that day, Samuel Davidson was high and drunk and had a bender that weekend, and he ran them over. As we know, the results were catastrophic, and the Abdallas lost their 3 beautiful children and their niece, Veronique. But then we had this story where Danny reached out, and I'd stayed in contact with him over time, and he said, I want to go to the prison, I'm going to meet Samuel. I have forgiven him and I want to embrace him. I can't live with this, and I don't think he can either. So this incredible moment, as you saw right there, we're in a maximum security jail in Australia. Media never gets access to that, ever, let alone interview an inmate who's serving a lifelong sentence there, another 10, 15 years ahead of him. So that was extraordinary. What that story did, though, and it gave me huge confidence, is that it began a conversation of forgiveness, around family tables. And a young fellow reached out to me and he said, Michael, as a family, we've never spoken about forgiveness or what we would do in those circumstances. And we all sat down last night and spoke about it. It's been viewed 26 million times on YouTube, that story. So around the world, that message is carried.
Incredible.
That's really powerful.
All right, let me try this segue. You're famous for segues. Let me try this one. Coming off the back of that, you decided to go on Dancing with the Stars. Now, what was going on in your mind when you thought, I want to let Australia see that side of me?
Probably not a lot of thinking. I probably should have thought more about it. No, look, they rang and they offered, and I thought, I could shop this out to all my serious mates. Larry, I could have called you and said, you've done it. Kylie, you're a superstar at it. Do I go on this show or not? But I asked the kids, and the 3 of them said, Dad, just do it. Don't overthink it. Do it. And I think they were setting me up, because later they said, let Australia see what you're really like at home. Because they call me newsman at home, like, oh, newsman's telling us to do jobs and stuff. Oh, the newsman. They mercilessly take the mickey out of me. So I think they were happy to set me up on national TV dancing. They said go for it. I went for it. And look, bottom line is, everything we've spoken about, I do so many serious things. And why not? Why not just enjoy it and sit back and have a bit of fun?
Can I say it backfired on your kids? Because you were good. You showed them.
And Australia love that side of you too, mate. We all know that side of you, of course, but Australia love that side. Now, the thing about working in TV, as it turns out, there's always a camera rolling.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at this now.
Okay. Is it BetterHelp to be free, rather, or is BetterHelp available for free? We'll have a look at that. And I'll read the words better. Oh. Well, I'm sorry.
Now Australia knows the truth. Now Australia knows it's not always perfect with Usher.
Oh, Marlena, I left her hanging. No, it's not always perfect. There are, as we know, behind the scenes, things happen, and you've got to catch yourself sometimes and get back on camera pretty quickly, but mistakes happen.
So. All right, mate, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.